Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. It's your boy. We're back playing some more Marvel Future Fight. So I had a bunch of you guys hit me up on Discord asking what my thoughts are on the new Tier 3 that is going to be coming later today for Ghost Rider. Because now, instead of just like guessing what the effects and what changes Ghost Rider is going to be getting, we get to see what the effects on his Tier 3 at the very least is going to look like. Now, as of right now, we are not sure if they're going to go back and improve anything else on Ghost Rider. So let's just assume that everything is what is going to be. As in, the cooldowns on his skills are not going to change. He doesn't have a heal and he's not going to be getting one on any of these skills, right? And let's just assume that the force skill is going to remain as it is, which is not a full iframe, right? Where that looks really, really cool, man. Where the startup is an iframe, then it's not an iframe, then he goes into an iframe, and that's just a disaster, right? Because in World Boss, the first half, you're safe. Then you're not safe, and the boss is going to jump into their iframe and cancel out before you even get to the end of this skill to do any real damage. So it's nice to flex on people with your bike, but it's not really that practical. So let's assume that everything stays the same. If that's the case, is Ghost Rider truly worth Tier 3? Well, it's going to be up to you and whether or not you're at a place where many of us are probably currently sitting, where you have a lot of characters built up, you have a lot of resources somehow because you've just been skipping over characters that you don't care for, right? You're not a content creator, so you're not like, I guess, in a situation where you kind of have to build up every character, right? So you have an excess of resource and you just love Ghost Rider. Just keep in mind, this is the fifth universal Tier 3 that we're getting pretty much in a row. It started with Silver Surfer, then we got Odin, then we got Black Bolt, really, really good. Then we got Dormammu, and now we're getting Ghost Rider. In addition to that, we also got a universal awakening character, which is Medusa. All of these characters are very good in their own regard. Dormammu, he can cover PvE and PvP, however you want to build it. Odin, really good for PvE. He can do PvP as well, but he's not as good as Dormammu, in my opinion. Black Bolt, really good for PvE. Medusa, really good for PvE. Silver Surfer, just good for everything because he's Silver Surfer. Where does Ghost Rider compare to that? In my opinion, he's gonna be probably a little bit stronger offensively than maybe Black Bolt or Medusa, but weaker defensively because their skills mesh together really, really well. And they also have healing, so if you make mistakes or something crazy happens, because it's World Boss, the bosses are not fair, right? Like you're going up against, just a quick example, Proxima, and then you're doing really good damage, and then she just makes it rain lightning like 50 times in a row. You can't do any damage to her, but then you're taking damage. If you can't heal, guess what happens? Eventually you're gonna die, right? So not having a heal in your kit, pretty bad for pushing high stages in World Boss. And because he doesn't have a heal, his cooldowns are very long and he has gaps in his iframes. I can't join you right now. Your skills are going to get canceled from time to time. That's going to affect your DPS and your survivability. So for me, for Ghost Rider to be keeping up with the Tier 3s and the Awakened characters in the same category, right, that came before him, he kind of needs a heal and shorter cooldowns or better iframes on his skills so everything just meshed together kind of seamlessly. And I don't think he has that, unfortunately. If you look at literally all of these characters, Dormammu, built-in healing, Black Bolt, built-in healing, Odin, healing, Medusa, healing, and all of them play really well, right? All of them have heal, except him. Kind of see where he's in a situation where he's not gonna be keeping up, right? And as it stands, most of you guys cannot afford to Tier 3 and awaken all these characters, so you should be being as strategic as possible when it comes to characters that you're developing, right? Because you want to make sure they have some longevity, more than just, oh, they're good for this 2-week period. And then after that, something better comes out, something easier to play, something, I guess, more fun or whatever. And then you're looking back, great, I just spent like 2,000 TCP. I just spent 800 CCF. I just spent my books. And then, yeah, something better came out literally the next update. And then this character is just going to sit here doing Shadowland for me. Just saying, I love Ghost Rider. He was one of the first characters I ever built in this game. I have been looking forward to this very moment when he's really, really good in this game. However, unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be good enough to compete with the characters that came before him and probably some of the ones that come after him in terms of overall value. Now, I have seen stuff where he's able to clear 99 Ebony. Lots of characters can do that. Well, not all of them, but a good amount of characters can do that with strikers and all that stuff. But let's be honest, you don't need to go to 99. We do that for ego and just to test characters to see what their upper echelon looks like. You don't need to do that. The booty boxes get better from 50. Realistically, all you're doing is running a high stage to get more Conqueror level, but even that has a ceiling. Once you get to Conqueror level 99, there's no reason to push past 50 ever again, unless you're testing character, which most of you guys are not content creators, so there's no reason for you to be doing that. So, it is rather unfortunate because this is his tier 3. Hell Awakens. Applies to enemy, fear, and bind. Decrease fire resistance by 50%. You can increase that using Voodoo, White Fox, Enchantress, etc. Applies to self. 100% ignore dodge. Makes sense. 100% chance to penetrate. Super armor, barrier, shield, all damage immunity, invincibility, and that's for 7 seconds. Pretty cool. Then he gets 7 seconds of invincibility and a 30% damage proc for 7 seconds. That is literally is tier 3 things. No healing here. And let's be honest, if his survivability is an issue at tier 2, yes, it's gonna get better at tier 3 because he's gonna get a higher stat buff. He's gonna get more HP, more defense. He's gonna get better substats from you getting him to gear 25 and stuff. But it's still going to be a problem because you still have to build up the tier 3. If you die before you build it up or you die after you use it, it's not really changing too much, right? So personally for me, I definitely think they need to do something about the iframes on the base kit, or they need to add a heal into the base kit and not just on the tier 3. Many people are saying if they put a heal on the tier 3, that would be good enough, but you would still have to get to the tier 3 to get the heal. Right? And the only character in the game that has a heal on the tier 3 is Luna Snow. And Luna Snow's healing is so good because it's a constant heal that you can literally have up pretty much all the time after you use the tier 3, because it's just going to constantly sprinkle snow. And because you build up her tier 3 so fast, you can get to the next tier 3 before that healing even stops. Right? So I don't see Ghost Rider getting something that OP. Let me say this, tier 3 looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. Everything about this new Ghost Rider, and they didn't even use the new uniform, they just used the base, but everything about this new Ghost Rider looks cool. And I think that's what they're going for. They're just going for flash to pull in new players or players that love Ghost Rider that quit playing, and this should get them back in. But then once they get back in, they're gonna be like, okay, well actually, if they haven't been playing, they're probably not gonna be running high stages in World Boss, so maybe this would be good for them, right? And if they haven't been playing, maybe they're not pushing very far into Shadowland. So like if the fight ends in 30 seconds, yeah, Ghost Rider is a god, right? Right? If the fight ends in 30 seconds, then Ghost Rider is a god. I'm just saying that. They're fixing some stuff like flame visual effects for Ghost Rider. So they specifically said they're fixing stuff in regards to the uniform, but it's just effects, visual effects. When they know damn well that we want him to have a heal, or we want him to have shorter cooldowns. I don't know. Like, I don't see the point of delaying his tier 3 until this week if this is what it was gonna be. Like, look, it's barely anything, bro. This is like, in my opinion, the bare minimum that they could have given him, right? That's it. So there was no reason to have us wait another week, right? And then I don't think Blade's uniform is coming out tonight either, because they didn't say anything about that. So we're gonna be waiting until next week for Blade's uniform, which is probably gonna immediately get overshadowed because I'm guessing that is also going to be peak week. So they'll probably drop Blade's uniform on like Tuesday, and then by Wednesday, Thursday, they start releasing sneak peeks. And then everybody's gonna forget about Blade and then start thinking about, okay, what's new and shiny coming in the next update? Or Blade gets his own week, cool, and then the update comes like 2 weeks later, because peak week, right, will probably be the next week where they release 5 sneak peeks or 6 sneak peeks or whatever, and then they do a live stream, and then we get APK testing, and then we get the update. So the further back this Blade uniform is, the further we are from possibly Mephisto being in the game. There's also some new events that are going on right now, like the Cosmic Core. I didn't even find mine yet. Give me my Obelisk or my Uru. Okay, probably not gonna get that. Anyways, and then we have the event world bosses coming back. Honestly, I don't know why it's so hard for these people to actually change this thing or add a new one. Where, like I said this before, like if you want to actually add easy, like reskinnable content in the game, this is an easy way to do it. You could easily just copy paste these boss fights, make them a little bit harder, and add new characters in here. Like let's say they just added Morbius, right? They could have easily put Morbius here as one of these bosses that you fight, make it a little bit harder, and then give people a chance to earn some bios for the character. Like maybe the 30 that they took out of the Future Pass, they could put here into like a new piece of content that people could clear daily or whatever. But they're not thinking about like that kind of stuff. They're just thinking about how they can stretch the money that they can get from this, right? Because honestly, at this point, people are running really, really low on tier 3 mats and all that stuff. And that's what they're banking on. I did hear some talks about Adam Warlock getting tier 3, and people are excited about that. But if you are, I hope you have the resources to tier 3 that, man. I don't even know if I'm gonna tier 3 Ghost Rider right away once it drops. Like I'm gonna look at the effects tonight when it gets released, and I don't know. We'll see. Let me know how you guys are feeling. If the effects come as they are and nothing on the base kit changes, how many of you guys are gonna tier 3 Ghost Rider, and how many of you are just gonna let him sit at tier 2 and just like appreciate him for what he is right now, which is a badass looking character on this bike? Like, honestly, just be honest with you guys. Hit me in the comments, okay? I'm gone. Love you guys. Peace.